And we're live. What's up, folks? Ryan Kostrowski here. This is DFS 5-pack. We'll be rolling solo this morning as we talk through the NBA DFS slate for the last night. I just got to say, Bucks-Lakers, kudos to the Lakers. LeBron James definitely moved himself up a peg in the MVP conversation last night. Poor game by the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis was not great. The rest of the guys around him, Middleton, Bledsoe, not great. Brook Lopez and Dante DiVincenzo, not too bad, but overall, nice win by the Lakers. Just gets me more and more excited for the NBA playoffs, which we're going to get here in a few short weeks because we should have a good open contest here. I've been talking about it a lot lately, but I have just absolutely gassed for the NBA playoffs to start this year. Even if my Bucks get like broken down, like it's just such an exciting season where it's open. You know, Clippers, Lakers, Milwaukee, even teams like Toronto and Boston and stuff like that. Man, I'm just absolutely just gassed for this NBA playoffs to get started. So before we get into the NBA playoffs, though, guys, there's plenty of other things to be excited about, but nothing quite as exciting as the $16,200 jackpot available at Overlay right now. Played in the $22 contest game myself last night. Came a game or two short of finishing within the money, which again put several games behind winning that jackpot, making it still available to the public out there. I know Bellman and I have talked about this a ton lately, but it's just monstrous, guys. $16,000 if you can find a way to go 12-0. Again, I won't call that life-changing money, but life-altering money might not be a bad way to take a look at it. So get in where you fit in. If you can't swing it, they still got the $2.50 contest available to everybody out there. They got the 5-pick shootouts. There's a slump buster challenge, which basically means if you play that $22 thing 20 times and you can't find your way into the money once, you should receive your money back, which is kind of a intriguing and also unknown type of deal as far as within the DFS world is concerned. So the name of the website is overlaydfs.com. You can see their Twitter handle below. If you haven't subscribed to the backup channel yet, please do so. Obviously, you can see views and everything are down on this one. We got our main channel suspended for a period of time that's still a little bit to be determined. So we'll be on here for a while. Help, share it. Appreciate it. We've been doing some sports betting videos lately as well. Took the dub last night with Utah beating Boston. That all being said, 5-pack deal today. We're going to run it back one more time this week with the annual membership. I know baseball season is starting just a couple of weeks away. Get an annual membership. It's $200 up on the website. I will send you a $50 rebate within the day. This covers you for a full calendar year: baseball, basketball, football, all the write-ups, all the videos. Very, very good value for your dollar. Otherwise, day passes are up for only $5. Get today's write-up in video for a one-time payment. It's a good way to test it out to see if you like it. Now, all that being said, let's move into some of the plays for today. And let's start out with Al Horford of the Philadelphia 76ers, priced at $6,600 today, facing a less than stellar Golden State team that recently got their boy Steph Curry back, though, which leads me to believe this should be a good game tonight, is the way that I look at this one. Horford's kind of your stat sheet stuffing, kiss, Occam's razor type of a play where you just kind of expect him to walk out there, play his big minutes with no Rich, no Joel, and no Ben for the 76ers tonight. Meandering from anywhere from 30 to potentially upwards of 45 DK points. Safe floor, solid upside, good price. Philly needs every win they can get. If you've watched any of the members-only shows lately, even some of the public shows are available to you guys. We've talked about the situation Philly's in for the playoff seeding within the East and how it'd be very, very, it's always smart to win games, but advantageous for them if they could try to move their way up a little bit from where they're currently positioned at. So every game for Philly is big. This is a winnable game against Golden State. No Klay Thompson, no Kevin Durant, yada, yada, yada. They got Curry back, but he's still not 100% the Steph Curry we know. So Philly needs to play hard tonight. Love the effort I've seen out of him lately. I expect Horford to just kind of roll in there and do what he normally does. If I had to set kind of a projection type of points, I'd say like 37.5, which is solid production based on this price tag. So he will 100% make my cash game lineup tonight. All right, moving along down the line. I'm going to talk about Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz, but I want to be very, very clear for everybody listening to this. The Jazz guards are very cheap today against a Detroit team that has been absolutely getting torched by guards with all the trades that have taken place. Now that Detroit is down to not much more than a G League team, their defense is atrocious, which is to be expected. Now, Clarkson is in play no matter what at 4K. He becomes a priority if Mike Conley is out today, and he might get a subtle bump in his minutes in production. If Conley plays, then I like Mike Conley a lot coming off of a big game last night. Again, another guy whose price tag is way too cheap today. But I want everybody to pay attention to the Utah Jazz guards. Obviously, we're a fan of Utah. They got the dub last night, helping that sports betting video. Detroit's been getting killed by guards. There's a lot of people on the slate that are way too cheap. So you don't really need to get down to a lot of the 3K guys. Guys like Jordan Clarkson at 4K work. And if Mike Conley does play in the back-to-back today, look at Mike Conley at, I believe, only 4,900. Utah's another team. At this point of the season, look for those teams that are desperate for wins. You know, you're going to care less about back-to-backs and things like that when it's a team that is really playing for playoff position to get into the playoffs and things like that. And Utah is a team that benefits more than others out there with, wins on a daily basis. Moving down from there, this team, the Atlanta Hawks, they are not a team looking for wins. It's always fun to win, but clearly they've been out of the playoff race for a hot minute now. I'm looking at Cam Reddish of the Atlanta Hawks, priced at 4,400. Shooting guard and small forward eligibility is big to me. It gives you a solid filler piece here. So let me be clear at how I look at him. He was a must for me last night. With Trae Young out, I wanted to start my lineups with Jeff Teague, John Collins, and Cam Reddish. Teague was very blah at extremely high ownership. Meanwhile, Reddish came off the bench, flat out balled again last night. The shot was looking pure. This is a very talented young man who's still a little bit raw. He will have a couple of bad days here and there. Last time I brought him up, he happened to leave the game injured. He looked healthy as can be last night. Shot looked real good in a good spot against Washington. Tonight they match up with Memphis. A little bit of a get-up spot for Atlanta, being that Memphis embarrassed them just a couple of days ago. So I like Cam Reddish no matter what. I love him if Trae Young is out because he's one of the few guys left who can really run the offense a little bit, work on some of the distribution skills, create his own shot, get some offense and things like that in a good spot for Atlanta today. He's a very talented young man, as I mentioned earlier. Still a bit raw, still a bit inexperienced, but he's really starting to come into his own the last couple of weeks. The game log will kind of speak for itself on this one. And if Trey's out tonight, for me, just lock him in. Now, you notice with Dedmon back last night, they slid Dedmon into the 5, Collins down to the 4, and then started Hunter, who had a bit of an off game, along with Herter and Jeff Teague last night. I don't really care if Reddish starts tonight or he plays off the bench. I like him no matter what. He's going to get his minutes. Sometimes it can be beneficial to run with the second unit. Sometimes it's nice to have the coach's buy-in. In this specific situation, I don't care if he starts or not. He's going to get his minutes no matter what. So start, not start, doesn't really make a difference to me in this one. Last up, let's talk about Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings. So my favorite thing about Harrison Barnes is just the pure and raw minutes total that he amasses on a daily basis. In the last 11 games, doesn't matter what the outcome of the game is, he plays over 30 minutes every single time but once. And in that game, it was 29 minutes. So he's got a high floor, only under 20 DK points once in the last 10 games, which is a solid output based off of 4,900. The Sacramento Kings have been decimated inside. Obviously, Holmes has been out for a while. Bagley's been out for a while. Still trying to acclimate Alex Len into the system, which forces Barnes to play a lot of that 4. Now, it is possible that Holmes comes back tonight. He's listed as questionable. But even if Holmes plays, how many minutes do you think he's getting tonight? So it doesn't really worry me about Harrison Barnes in the slightest. Harrison Barnes is just kind of like, I like the term adult in the room. You got some young talent on the Kings, Bogdanovich, Fox, Bagley if he were ever actually to play. But Barnes is just a solid filler piece right there. He comes in, he does a lot of the dirty work. Some days he gets hot shooting 3s. Some days he grabs 6 or 7 boards. Other days he hits the mid-range. Just does a little bit of everything every time he's out there. He's got the dual forward eligibility. He's a solid filler piece. The way I look at Harrison Barnes is like I don't set my lineup around him. Like if Trae Young's out, I set my lineup around Cam Reddish. Harrison Barnes just fills my lineup if I need a guy in that 5K range at the forward position. So he is a guy that will be shortlisted for me today, but it's not like the first guy that I enter into my lineups. So that's what I got for you. Oh, yeah, Portland's a good spot, too. We've been talking about this all season long. Portland is no longer the defensive team that it was of yesteryears. No Harkless, no Aminu has made a big difference over there. They do get Nurkic back pretty soon, but that's not something that we are to be concerned about this evening. So take a look at Harrison Barnes at 4,900 if you need a forward in that price range. All right, guys, that's what I got today. I appreciate y'all watching. Thumbs up is always appreciated, guys. We got to get this backup channel spread around YouTube so Bellman and I can continue to pay our bills. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.